Good Wednesday morning. It is a delight to be listening in to what the Apostle Paul is teaching the church in Rome that applies so perfectly to the Christian ears and heart and mind today. There's a challenge, though, in this text today, especially as he highlights the relationship that we have by the Spirit who dwells within us, calling God our Father. You know, when Jesus taught his disciples to pray, he gave them this model prayer, Our Father who art in heaven. That is an amazing relationship that is only really offered through Christianity. Every other religion in the world has gods and goddesses that are distant, unapproachable, uh, irreconcilable, really. They're never satisfied. But the God who loves you, the God who created you, is pursuing you and desires and has designed a relationship to have with you. And that's why yesterday we have the Spirit within us, a spirit of adoption, not fear, whereby we call out to our Creator, Abba, Father. And he continues here. He says, the Spirit himself testifies with our spirit that we are children of God. And if children, heirs also, heirs of God and fellow heirs with Christ, if indeed we suffer with him, so that we may also be glorified with him. Wow, what an amazing relationship we have day to day. You know, this is not a relationship we have with God that we benefit from someday when we stand at the pearly gates and seek entrance into heaven. That's included, but this is a day-to-day, here and now relationship that we have with our Creator, with the God who made us and the God who loves us. And this relationship is established by Jesus Christ and empowered by the Holy Spirit who dwells within us. Look again, he says, the Spirit testifies with our spirit that we are children of God. And if we're children, then we inherit the Father's estate. We are heirs of God and joint heirs, fellow heirs with Christ himself. So in these two verses, he uses the idea of with Christ 3 different times. We are heirs with Christ. We suffer with Christ. And we are glorified with Christ. What a joy flows through our hearts today because of what he has done. We are joint heirs, inheriting the Father's estate, the same as Jesus, because of his faithfulness, because of his righteousness. Everything's because of him. And we accept that gift, that grace. And it is an amazing grace, amazing mercy. We inherit the same thing Jesus inherited. We suffer, if we suffer with him, and we will be glorified with him. These 3 things, the inheritance, the suffering, and the glory, we share with Christ because of God's genius design, motivated by his love. So I want to encourage you today to recognize that it's the here and now relationship that you have with God, equipping, empowering, bringing enthusiasm to your life for righteousness, for the things of God. And we suffer with him. In this suffering, Jesus took the wrath of God on the cross so that we could experience the mercy of God. The suffering that he's talking about is when you take up your cross every day. You are executed. My will is subjugated to the will of God. Your will is submitted to the will of God. And whatever the world does, whatever sacrifices we make it for the glory of Christ. We suffer with him and we will be glorified with him. We look forward to that day. In fact, it's as if you own it now because God gave you his word. Remember that He loves you and that we love you.